Alrighty, well, that's it. It's over. 5:24 on Friday afternoon, and that'll end the student teaching experience. But I use the word "end" cautiously because I don't think that three-letter word can actually be applied to our experience. I mean, the information and the experiences that I'm gonna take from these last 3 months is something that'll never really end. I had a great cooperating teacher, great team, great principals, and just an overall excellent experience. Students were really excellent to work with. I enjoyed working with every single one of them. Each student brought unique capabilities and unique qualities into the classroom. So I was really impressed with their effort, the effort that they gave me. Because realistically, they could have just rolled over and said, student teacher, I don't have to listen to him or her. So I'm really excited with how this semester went. Today during fourth period, it was my last day, the big hurrah, and they asked me, which was your favorite period? What's your favorite class? And they said I gave them a teacher's response, which I guess is good because that's what I want to be one day. But I said, each class brings something completely different to the table. There's no way to compare, contrast different classes because, that's just not fair. Each class and each student brings something totally different to the table. And I think that's the best part about teaching. I mean, you get to be with so many different people that bring so many different prior experiences into the classroom. And that's something that, I'm definitely going to take with me as I hopefully start my career in the teaching profession in the weeks and months to come. But just looking back at, where I was, I think at the beginning of the semester as opposed to now, I think the one thing that I would have to take away from it, the most important thing that I'd have to take away from it, is getting to know every student. That was difficult coming in December and January, and having to learn all the students' names, learn what they do, try to understand them while they're in the middle of their school year. So I think that's something that maybe one day should be looked at, because maybe we should start our student teaching in the fall and do fall student teaching somehow. I don't know how you would do it, but it might just make it easier. But anyway, that's beside the point. That's just my opinion on the matter. But I think that's something that every teacher, every student teacher, every teacher in general has to do. Get to know your students right from the beginning. I mean, I think that's something that I kind of did in Shawsville. I mean, I tried to do when I was at my fall field placement, but when I got to my spring field placement, I really did a much better job of getting to know every single student. I really took the time, I thought, to try to get to know everybody. Have conversations, not even all about school, but about things that are going on in their life. I think that's something that you really need to do in order to really try to see where they can progress. That's kind of a pre-assessment in a way. I know it's not an academic pre-assessment, but I would consider that a pre-assessment that needs to be made, at the beginning of every single school year, and then continue that understanding of the students throughout the year. I'm looking over here. Where am I now that my placement has come to a close? I think the one big word that I would take away with me right now is confidence. I feel much more confident now than I did in February. I was a little nervous going into student teaching. Didn't know if the students would respect me. Didn't know if I'd do a really good job. And I think I've come a long way over the last couple of months. I would never say that I did everything correct, because I didn't. I obviously didn't. There's no way I did everything correct. But those mistakes that I made along the way are something that I can learn from, and I can do better next year. And then I'll make mistakes next year again, and then I can continue to keep getting better and better. I think that's the cool part about teaching as well. You mess up, in a financial firm in New York City, you might lose billions of dollars for that company, and you're probably going to get fired. In the teaching profession, you get an opportunity to, maybe, I'm not saying make mistakes so much, but, do something, tweak a lesson a little bit. Maybe make it better than it was the period before or the year before. I think that's the best thing that, we as teachers have. We have the opportunity to relate to students and to switch up lessons when they're not going that well, and definitely switch up lessons for different classes, because every class, as I said earlier, is different. Every single class is different. So, out of everything this semester, I've definitely become more confident. I worked with an unbelievable cooperating teacher who really taught me a lot. Worked with a great team. Had Katie coming as my university supervisor, and we just would talk and reflect on the day's lessons and everything. And it just all around, it was a great unit, great cohesive unit. Really got a lot out of it, and I'm very pleased with how everything was run and how I did and how I related with the cooperating teacher and how we reflected every single day. And I do think that's something that teachers need to do. After every school day, I think it's important to relax, of course, because you got to relax. You got to step outside, do something for yourself every single day. Every day, do something for yourself. Don't come home and grade papers till 9 o'clock, go to bed, and start over the next day. You're going to get burned out. First thing you got to do is you got to relax. That's the thing I've learned. And then also reflect. Reflect on the day. See how it went. Think about what you could do differently, and think about what worked well. Give yourself a pat on the back sometimes, because sometimes you really deserve it. You do an excellent job, and it's important to give yourself recognition and give yourself props for something that you did during the day. So I definitely see that my confidence throughout this term has really grown. Even looking back, last fall, and then even, before I even got into the graduate program, I really think that my confidence has really skyrocketed. I mean, honestly, in high school and even my undergrad career at college, I wasn't shy by any means, but I was hesitant to talk in front of large groups of people, and obviously being a teacher, you do that every single minute of the day, so I'm glad they worked that out. But I can really tell that I've become a more confident speaker. I'm confident with what I say because I think I have experiences and I think I have content knowledge that is that's really up there, and I think I do a good job with what I do. So I'm not saying this in any way to be cocky or anything, but I've definitely learned a lot throughout these past 6 months, and that has a lot to do with Virginia Tech, has a lot to do with our graduate professors, our university supervisors, but it also has a lot to do with my classmates, my cohort at the graduate school. I think there's about 12 of us maybe, and we've just been doing this whole semester, and we've really kind of taken each other in arms. We've been there for one another, and I think I've learned so much through viewing the vlogs, through reading the blogs, to talking in class, that those are the most important things that I'm going to take away from this year. The student teaching experience obviously is something that I'll obviously take with me, but it's that relationship that I got to build with these 12 people in this graduate program with me. That's all you guys out there that I think has really allowed me to grow as a person and to grow as a teacher. And I think what we have is something special, and I hope that we stay together for the next our next 20 years teaching in the real world, because I think it'd be cool to look back at our experiences and then reflect to see what we're using in 20 years that might reflect back to what we learned in the graduate program. But just wanted to digress for a second, because I think that's something that some of us don't even realize how fortunate we are to have one another, and I think that's something that shouldn't go without being noticed.